Yo, it's your boy Brandon Love Sports TV. Shout out to the LDBC Lions Den basketball community. Give y'all a minute to come in the room. Give y'all a minute to come in. We're gonna wrap up. I'm watching the last quarter. I'm keeping my eye on this Golden State Warriors game. I got some thoughts on that series. I think Golden State is in serious trouble if Curry don't come back, regardless of whether they win tonight. I just think that Minnesota is kind of just they're a little rusty. I'm not worried as much about them, but Curry's got to make it back. But let's talk about what transpired earlier tonight. I picked Indiana to win this series, but I wanted to see it be interesting. I think this is going to be a 4-0 sweep at this point, and I think game two was the tell-all. And I said that in my if you watched the video I did earlier today, I said that they were going to have to Spidey and them was gonna have to pull out a win, and they're gonna have to split it 1-1 going back. They lost home court advantage. They lost the first game, and I said they're gonna have to win game two going back to Indiana. And Spidey Mitchell probably put on the best performance of his career. He did everything he could do to will his team to victory, but sometimes the injury bug is just hard to overcome. And they had too many key players out, and ultimately came back to bite him on the behind. And Tyrese Halliburton, in typical fashion, the thing is he didn't even play all that great all night long. It was a collective effort. Neesmith was big. He was rebounding a lot. They just were hanging around. You know, it's one of those things where when Cleveland had a chance to create separation, they could never get that lead over like 15 points. And you know as well as I know, Chad said they choked. I won't even say it was so much they choked. I think it's just Spidey Mitchell just was trying. He was carrying that team. What's that guy's name? The white dude with the dark colored hair. He was hitting some threes here and there, but there was a stretch where Cleveland had gone a long stretch where they weren't scoring. Spidey was getting tired. They had to pull him. Just then they got in a penalty late in the game. It's like everything started going Indiana's way. You would thought they were the home team. The way stuff just as soon as I started seeing that happening, I was talking to one of my subscribers. I said, "Man, this." I kept putting up brooms. I said they're gonna get swept because I saw it. Because what happened was Cleveland started playing not to lose. Excuse me. They weren't playing to win. They started playing not to lose. And when you start playing that survival game kind of basketball, that's not good. That's not good. You start playing not to lose, and that's essentially what started happening. They and once Tyrese Halliburton, he just that dude is so deadly to me, man. He reminds me of Curry a lot, and he got that man got that he's got yeah Cavs are done. You're right, Robert. They're done, man. They're finished, dude. But he has that Kobe Bryant Mamba mentality kind of thing. Once he started driving to the basket, it opened up the outside game. Because he was in there. I mean, it was one play where, because he got hurt. That's the crazy thing about it. That's the one thing that might help Cleveland, where it's a little uncertain about Tyrese Halliburton and his arm. I don't know the extension of that injury. We'll see, as the reports come. But it was one stretch, one part of where Tyrese Halliburton was out almost an entire quarter. I think maybe the second quarter, right before the half. He comes in, and I think the lead was like 12 or 11 points at that time. He comes in real quick, just for one set, like in like literally 2-3 seconds. Penetrates the ball down, kicks the ball out to the corner. And somebody hits a three. I forget who it was in the corner. Hit a three and cut the lead to 8 points. As soon as I saw it, I said, man, it's amazing how Tyrese Halliburton could impact the game so well. Just like he did in game two. He don't even have to score the basketball. And his game just reminds me so much of Steph Curry. When Curry can just break you down because in certain parts of the game where he just starts penetrating and penetrating and penetrating. He's not shooting threes. He's driving to the basket. And that's basically what started happening. He just kept driving and grinding the ball. And then eventually, he started getting Tyrese Halliburton might be the most clutch player in the game. I'm not saying he's the best player in the game, but he's showing me a lot about the play. And that's what, to me, what makes a player great is when they can get it done in the playoffs. I don't care about no James Harden, nobody, no guy who just puts up all these crazy numbers, shoots a million shots, and averages 30 a night, but then can't get in and can't get past the first, second round of the playoffs and chokes and big moments. Tyrese Halliburton is going to go down as a Hall of Famer because of what he does in the clutch. And I'm starting to think more and more that we might see Indiana in the finals. That's how much I believe in this team's talent and how well they're coached. Rick Carlisle's a Hall of Fame. He's won the championship. He whooped LeBron James behind in 2011. And it's always been a competitive coach. Sometimes he had to deal with injuries, some front office issues, teams that didn't want to build the players and, didn't really believe in his vision and didn't really support what he was doing. But, I mean, he's bounced back. He's proven Rick Carlisle, if you give him the right recipe, he can cook up, a gourmet meal, what I'm saying, full of athletes. And tonight, man, it just, it's just, the Indiana Pacers just flat out, they just kicked Cleveland's rear end. Cleveland started playing not to lose. They weren't playing with confidence. They started just, dumb turnovers, offensive fouls, bad shots, errant passes, all kind of things down the stretch of the game. And you could tell they were playing survival ball. So as I started seeing that, that kind of reminded me of the Oklahoma City Thunder when they played against, I think it was the Oklahoma City, when they played against the Golden State Warriors that year, Kevin Durant's last year in OKC, when they blew that 3-1 lead in game 7, when they just kept missing and the Golden State Warriors just, Oklahoma City started playing not to lose and the Golden State Warriors just took over. That's what it looked like last night. I told this guy, I was like, man, I said, they're going to lose this series, man. I mean, I knew they were going to lose a series, but I thought, it'd be competitive. But this thing's over in 4, man. It's a sweep. If Halliburton can stay healthy and Cleveland can't get those guys they lost back, and those guys just, to me, are soft. One of my buddies, I seen him on Facebook. He was talking about that guy I used to coach against in AAU stuff, a good friend of mine. And I tend to agree with him more. When soft niggas, soft ninjas sit on the bench and that's not a time to sit on the bench. The playoffs, you got to push past injuries. That's what I like about this weak era now in the league. These guys can't push past, when they hurt, they can't stay in the game and just push past injuries. They ain't made like them old school guys, man. They not made like the Isaiah Thomases of the world, in the the Magics and the Birds and that's things that made guys, Michael Jordan, things that made guys great. When they hurt, they play. Michael Jordan played with the flu. These guys they got too much money, too much investments, too many endorsement deals, and living in these nice penthouses and these big mansions and stuff. Like they too spoiled. What I'm saying? Every little injury, they break their toenail, they gonna sit on the bench. And Spidey Mitchell, bless his heart, man, the brother, he left it all on the court. He did everything he could to help his team win. And it just comes down to it. It's just, yeah, Mobley, man, them guys are soft as cottonelle tissue. I don't know what's going on with them. I mean, it's little knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, injuries. It ain't really nothing serious, man. And they just sitting on the bench, man, and they cost the team. And Cleveland's going home in 4 games. This is a wrap. This is all she wrote. All right, y'all. I'm keeping my eyes on this Warriors game. I'm going to come back, talk about this, and I'm going to bed. Not to diminish anyone's injury, but Garland not playing over a sprained. It was sprained toe is irritated. Yeah. Man, he needs to have his behind sprained, sitting on the bench. Michael Jordan told Scottie Pippen, man, you talking about having a migraine, so I'm going to give you a migraine when I knock you upside your head. And that's really how Spidey Mitchell ought to look at those guys. Because this dude gave it everything he had. Those guys are sitting on the bench, watching their team, watching the game slip away. Do you think if all those guys were playing with Spidey Mitchell playing at a high level like that, at a high stakes game like that, you think they would have lost? No. But that's the problem with these guys. They don't know how to really put it up, and like when the stakes are high, they don't know how to go out there and get it done. That's the big problem. That's the issue with these guys. They can't go out there and like give it their all and leave it all on the floor. These guys, all they do is complain and they whine, and it's just, this is what you get. And they're not gonna win two straight in here. And I don't think they can get one there. Is when I know when they come back to Cleveland, if they make it back to Cleveland, it'll be 3-1 at bet. At that's their best bet is for it to go 3-1. But they're gonna get swept. They couldn't even hold serve at home. All right, y'all. Brandon Love Sports TV. It's your boy. Shout out to the LDBC Lions Den basketball community. I'm gonna do one more video on this Warriors Wolves game. Buddy Hield was huge tonight. I can't wait to talk about his contributions tonight. Y'all have a good one. Peace. I'm out.